In spite of the big chill, the shoppers are out here at this Berlin Christmas market. The German economy has recovered from the recession better than almost any other in Europe. Growth should hit nearly 4% this year. Exports are one key to its success, but now consumer spending is picking up too. Yet there's a great concern. The wider Eurozone in Europe is in trouble. Greece and Ireland have sought bailouts from their partners to pay their debts and save their banks. There are fears in Germany for the future of the euro.
There are a lot of people who have still almost emotional feelings towards the Deutschmark. And it was very difficult in the 1980s, 1990s to make this switch. And as soon as in some areas they find out prices are going up, they always blame the euro, most of the time wrongfully. But that's certainly a bit of a problem because the relationship to their old currency was a little bit emotional. But I think Germans who think a little bit harder, who are a little bit more involved in economic questions, they know that the euro has done a lot of good, especially in this time of crisis. Without the European currency, without the euro, our economy, our export economy would have fared much worse.
The German government is adamant that public borrowing must be scaled back to reassure bondholders and stabilise the euro. But Sebastian Dullian, who's an economics professor in East Berlin, fears the policy may prove self-defeating.
I think the danger is clearly that if everyone is going on an austerity path, and Germany is also embarking on an austerity path, which is laid down in the debt guillotine in the constitution, that we have a lack of aggregate demand in Europe as a whole. Germany at the moment has not the power to pull the rest of Europe out of the crisis. It is a danger for Germany because, well, Germany is exporting a lot. Half of its exports go to other Eurozone countries. And if they are deep in recession, they're not going to buy the German goods. And if at some point a country leaves EMU, and that would mean that this country definitely will depreciate very strongly, or if it's more countries will depreciate very strongly, and that will hurt German exports and German jobs here.
Professor Dullian thinks it possible that weaker members of the Eurozone might actually quit rather than face endless austerity. It's a horror scenario for the European Union and for Germany more than most. Chancellor Angela Merkel says if the euro fails, Europe will fail.
Germany is very dependent on a strong European economy, on a strong European joint currency, of course. On the other hand, as soon as it comes to bailing out somebody, Germany is certainly the paymaster number one. And on the one hand side, people know that the economy and that the European Union is benefiting, especially Germany. On the other hand, it's certainly that people don't like to pay for others. I think a lot of people in Germany are concerned about moral hazards, that other countries think the Germans are paying for it anyway. So we are caught in the middle of a dilemma, but I think the majority in Germany, especially in the parliament, but also in the public, is prepared to prevent a European ice age from happening.
It's chilly enough in Berlin, but it's hard to think of an economic ice age when you're surrounded by German prosperity. The dilemma for Germany, though, is that Europe's growing at two speeds, growing in the centre and shrinking at the periphery. Unemployment may be down here, but it's going up in Spain and Portugal, Greece and Ireland. So is Germany going to have to become the paymaster of Europe again and bail out the budgetary sinners? Not unless they cut their budgets and cut their debts. That's what Berlin says. And the dilemma for Germany is that if it gets too tough, it could undermine the stability of the euro. Quentin Peel for the Financial Times in Berlin.